Alright, here's a little video just to kind of demonstrate how the sight works. A couple different ways that you can pinch the arm against the barrel band here. So this is a .75 barrel band here that I've used for a while. This one has a screw that you can screw all the way out and all the way in. And so if you took the screws out, it would look like this, right? So you'd have the screws the male end, and then the sight band is the female end. Now this is a different version where you'll see that the screw is like Loctited into the barrel band, and there's basically a nut that comes on and off, and the screw stays on the barrel band. So those are two different versions of this, how this sight worked. So I've used both, and I guess this version where you take the screw all the way out and put it all the way in might be the easiest one to reproduce. But I guess both work. I've used both and both work. If you make something like this, I had cut a slot to go across so that I can tighten it a little bit more than hand tight. So I could take like maybe the edge of a screwdriver and tighten it a little bit more, that kind of thing, just to torque it down really well so that it didn't vibrate loose or anything like that. Here's a picture of how the elevation knob works. So when the sight is loosened, you can we'll just loosen it so it can slide freely, right? Slide freely up and down. So this knob just unscrews, and you'll see that there are four. I'll screw it in a little bit so you can see. There are four detents. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 little detents that are machined into that screw, and on the screw somewhere right there is an Allen key that's holding in a spring, and then there's a little ball on the innermost part that fits into that detent. So I don't want to take that apart because it's kind of like a pain in the ass to put it all together and put it back in. But this screw here is permanently fixed into the sight band. You probably glued it in or Loctited it in, and then this wheel is the only thing that moves, and you can probably hear it. So it clicks when you move it. So each one of these clicks is a minute. I have no idea what the pitch is or the thread is on that thing, but if you give it to a good machinist, they can, the stripped barrel bands that I have already been threaded. So a good machinist has a set of whatever the hell they put in there to figure out what that threading is. So they could tell you what that threading is, what the thread is on the stripped .75 barrel bands that would take this. They could tell you what kind of a screw you need for that. And then also to affix the barrel band onto the barrel, you've got a spot where the screws go in, and it's threaded down here for whatever size that is. You'd have to test that out and find out what size that is. So these Allen screws rather had the heads turned down to make them a little bit skinnier to fit in there. So that would be something that's a little atypical. Like you couldn't just buy one off the shelf, I guess. You'd have to kind of do a little bit of work to it there. But that's kind of the long and short of it there. I hope that helps clarify a few things. The piece that I have that's been opened up to 0.878. You can see it's been bored out a little bit in there, and it's got the Allen screws that are, I never tried taking these out. I presume they are Loctited or glued in there, and I've never tried taking this out, so I presume it's been glued or Loctited in there as well. But the easily removed parts would be one of these wheels, and then the parts in here for the detent clicks, and these screws here. These would be easily consumed and put onto one of the stripped, I would believe. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps answer some of the questions you have. And then as you see, as you unscrew the elevation knob, you just move the stem down to make contact, tighten it down, and then give it some torque here. What I did is I found that after a while they might vibrate loose if I didn't put enough torque on it, so I got some bevel washers to help keep some tension in there, so there's no chance of vibration coming loose. So that really helped to kind of make it fail proof. So, all right, hope that helps.